What's up, guys? My bad, I'm just doing a little sweeping. Get this raven on out of here. What's up, folks? Welcome to the latest episode of the Terrible Towel post-game show. What's going on, folks? As you can see, I'm hyped. I'm excited. Let me focus the camera in a little bit. As you can see, guys, had to do a little sweeping. You know, gotta poke a little fun at the Ravens. And, you know, don't give me all of this, it wasn't fair, blah. It won't fair to us either. Now, let me give them a little bit of respect. Tough playing a game like that. Tough playing a game without your starting quarterback, your two, top running backs, and, two interior linemen. I get it. And I have a little sympathy for them, but at the end of the day, the outbreak happened, and they're camping it. It is what it is. It's one of the casualties that you have to deal with. You know what I mean? In this world of COVID-19. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, so again, it was unfair for us as well. And let me tell you something. The Steelers didn't play a great football game. Oh, we're going to get into that. But like I said, I had to poke a little fun. Had to do my little sweep really quick because, it's been a long time since we've been able to do that. So there you have it. But all right, guys, let's get to it. And we are going to shout out the early commenters first. Everybody, make sure that you can see me well. You can hear me well. I think you can, but we just want to confirm. And let's jump right into it, man. Eric Chap, Zuami M, Sherman Slaughter the Third, Charlie Brown. Who else we got? Tigzalot, Sippy Boy, Brother Mark. Who else we got up in here, man? Shadow Slayer, Marcus Jones. Who else we got up in here? Jesse George, Wide Diggy in the building, Thunderguard in the building, Real G Lee in the building. Thunderguard, if I remember correctly, you were 330. So if you call tonight, hopefully we can get you on properly. Yeah, bad performance, Real G Lee. You ain't never lied. My brother Tony in the building, the Mexican chicken. I love that name right there. Mexican food, by the way, is one of my favorites. Oh, don't even get me started. But anyway, Miss Lanisha. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? See who else we got in here, man. Knight Rider is in here. We'll read a few more names. Luis D is in the building. And I think that'll be it for now. My good brother Kenyon in the building. Ali Howard in the building. Just wanted to see if any of the other ladies in the chat was here, man. We want to give them a proper greeting. Don't see them as of yet, but, in case they come a little later or if they miss it, let's give a shout out to Odessa and Miss Debbie. So how are you all doing, whether you come tonight or you hear us later? Hello. All right, guys. We got to start off with some bad news. And I kind of knew it when I saw it. Guys. We've been watching football long enough to know. Some of us have played sports, so you've seen it firsthand. Bud Dupree, man. Bud Dupree is lost for the season. ACL tear, and I knew it. You could just see it. The motion that he was doing with his knee, trying to push off, it kind of buckles a little. He goes right down, grabs the knee, pounds the ground in frustration, which would tell you that not only did, probably had a little pain to it, but more than likely, he had probably heard or felt a pop of some sort. Because it seems like a lot of these guys can tell immediately. Devin Bush was the same way. And how unfortunate is it for the Steelers, man, to have two of your starting defensive players go down with the same injury. And it sucks. It sucks, man. Let me explain to you, where it really sucks. I know it sucks to us, but let's be fair for a moment. Bud Dupree, man, is on the tag. He's playing for a contract. Bud Dupree has played very well, in my opinion. Played pretty good last year, on the 5th-year option, and he has been maintaining, his, I guess you would say, consistency. Has he been a giant world beater this year? No. TJ Watt has been more of that as far as, you want to talk about sacks and things of that nature. However, Bud has been very consistent in both pass rush, pressures, hits, sacks, setting the edge in the run game. He's been a good football player this year. He's been a good football player for now a year and a little over half, right? Because he's played, all of last season, and he's played 11 games in this season. He's been good. Bud Dupree has earned a contract, but you already know that this is going to put a little, it's going to throw a little wrench into that. Some teams are going to play hardball, and they're going to say, well, we don't know if you're the same guy after injury. And however, let's be fair there. Will you be the same guy after an ACL tear? I mean, a lot of people come back from it nowadays, but, this is something that, your mobility and your power and all of that, you're pushing off. So I feel super sad for him, man. I really do. Prayers out to Bud Dupree. Again, I don't know who would see this show. I have heard sometimes that people have shared this show with some Steelers players, and they've actually saw it. That's amazing. So if this happens to get back to Bud Dupree, man, let me officially say prayers to you, man. I hope you recover. Number one, I hope you come back and be the same football player that you're capable of being and what you have been the last season and, most of this season. And I hope you get paid. That you're in this business for that. And that's when you're on the tag, that's the worst case scenario, right? Think about like a Dak Prescott. Worst case scenario is you suffer a season-ending injury when you're typically, you're at this moment, you're in a contract situation. Sucks. Got to get that out the way, man. Prayers up to one Bud Dupree. Hopefully you can get yourself back together, man. And, wherever you land, continue to ball out. Make your money. Where else do I want to start? Guys, I'm a little pissed off, man. I'm going to be honest with you. Let me take a sip of water, because, yeah. Excuse me, let me see. Okay, I was checking to see who was texting me there. There goes Debbie. Hey, Miss Debbie, how you doing? I hope you are well tonight. And there's Odessa. See, it's funny, man. I mentioned you all before I even saw you in the chat. Lanisha was here, so we said a proper hello to her, and I said hopefully whether Odessa or Debbie is here now or not, hopefully they hear our proper hello to you. So we're going to say it loud and proud now that I see you both are here. Hello. Hope you both of you lovely ladies are having a great evening. I'm pissed off, brother. Yeah. I'm charged up. I'm going to say something that might piss y'all off, and I just want to get some talking going. And maybe I should hold it for later, because I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to say it even later, because this will spark some conversation in chat. Might even spark some conversation with phone calls. The Chiefs are the team to beat in the AFC, folks. Not our Pittsburgh Steelers. Just my opinion. Does that mean that the Chiefs can't be beat? Absolutely not. Doesn't mean that. The Raiders have kind of shown somewhat of a blueprint. Let's stop myself right here. Shout outs to my good buddy, Luis D, man. I appreciate the donation. Let's read his comment. A lot of drop passes by the Steelers, maybe lack of practice. Question, who do you start for Dupree, Highsmith, or Ola? You're very right about those drops. We're going to get into that because we got a person who needs to visit the office tonight that contributed to those drops. To be honest, I think maybe you keep the same rotation going. Maybe you rotate those guys in and out. It's been interesting to kind of see how the Steelers feel, because in some scenarios, you've seen Ola be the first man off the bench. Other scenarios, you've seen Highsmith be the first man off the bench. In other scenarios, Highsmith has been included in a 3 outside linebacker package. So obviously it looks like he's playing more. But now that you kind of take that off the table, do you still do that? Do you still have an opportunity where you perhaps bring Ola and Highsmith in to still run that package along with TJ? Very interesting question, man. I don't know. Me personally, if we're gonna go with pure pass rusher, and I'm just speaking from my eye test and my heart here, I probably would start Highsmith. I think Highsmith is more of your traditional pass rusher. I think he has more of an upside. He's a very natural pass rusher. And it looks like Highsmith has been able to do more of the similar things that we've asked out of Bud Dupree, dropping back in coverage and things of that nature. Definitely seems like Highsmith has been able to do that a little more, right? Think back to when we played the Ravens the first time, how he dropped it back. Still don't understand why the Ravens threw the football to start the half in that first game when they were running the ball down their throat in the second quarter. And Highsmith gets an interception, which basically turned the tide of that game. So I think Highsmith is the guy that can give you more of a fill-in factor for Dupree. You bring Ola in to spell him. Just my opinion. I don't know how the coaches see it, but that's kind of how I see it. Let's get back to me pissing you guys off, man. And I hate to do it, but I'm just being real. Chiefs the team to beat, man. It ain't us. I will defend the Pittsburgh Steelers. I still see people saying, oh, we're the most overrated 11-0 team. Whatever. You can only play who's in front of you at the end of the day. And I already gave my spiel about that last night on Terrible Towel Tuesday. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. Other teams have had easy schedules in their seasons. Our own division has a similar easy schedule. And nobody is winning the way we are, except for Cleveland. Let's give Cleveland some credit. Cleveland is putting some things together. Got to pause myself right here and say hello. Thank you, Miss Odessa. Really, really appreciate the donation. She says, you got to bring Eric Ebron in the office. He dropped too many key passes. Yeah, Eric got to come in, man. He's got to come in. His is not going to be not going to get on him as much as this other guy, but yeah, we got to bring him in. We got to bring him in as well. Thank you for the donation, of course. Yeah, guys, I hate to say that, but let me get into my rundown. Let's do that. I just wanted to put that in the air, and then I'll come back and say it again. But let's do my normal rundown. It's Wednesday. Whoa, post-game show on Wednesday. What in the world is going on in this world? This is Wednesday, so you can tell I'm all out of whack. Wednesday. We watched a football game on Wednesday that started at 3:40, and man, somehow it worked out that I was able to watch the game on time. I did a lot of my work early on in the day, and then, nobody really needed much assistance from me, and I kind of was working and watching at the same time. But I did get a chance to watch it, and I decided to go ahead and have dinner, and then I come on 7:30, a familiar time that you guys are familiar with. So it worked out. But first of all, let's get into it, man. Y'all know how I always do. I like to give my rundown of the opening drive, both offense and defense. Before I do that, let's talk about Stephon Tuitt talking trash on Twitter. I'm not sure I like that, but, stick your chest out a little bit, cool. But, he kind of said, go ahead out there, guys, and stat pad. I don't always like that because sometimes karma comes back to get you. But we got the win. Ugly win, but we got the win, so I'll take it. Defensive opening drive. I didn't see the first 3 plays for whatever reason. I don't know if, you guys know I use IPTV. I don't have traditional cable. Still have all the channels, all the NFL games, yada, yada, yada. But I don't know if I was behind or whatever, but when I cut it on, for whatever reason, all I saw was the 4th and 5. So I don't know if we had forced a 3 and out or if they got a first. I don't know. I just know that they were punting by the time I cut the TV on. So I didn't see the first defensive series, but it was a good one because we forced a punt. There you have it. Offensive series. Claypool drops a deep shot. Dropped the deep ball. Now, Peters got a hand in on it. So, I'm not going to get on Claypool as much, even though Claypool had a couple that I thought he could pull in. But drop the deep ball, and then Steelers go 3 and out. Never a good situation. Especially when you're playing a team in dire straits like the Ravens were. You need to try to get points, get them fast, run the ball, run the score up, and try to make this team one-dimensional because they're shorthanded. So it wasn't good to see that we went 3 and out there. I mean, and again, maybe we're a little spoiled, expecting we're supposed to score on every drive. But I would love to be able to have games where on the first drive of the game, there's either a touchdown or a field goal. That makes me feel more comfortable than 3 and out. And even if we don't score, I just don't like 3 and out. Not a fan of 3 and out. But anyway, let's get into the key moments, guys. And y'all know I kind of do this as I'm watching the game, so that's the order that it's going to be in. RG3 and Gus Edwards have a fumble exchange on their second possession. The Steelers take over at the Ravens 22. The Steelers go for it on 4th and goal, and Ben throws an interception. Let's talk about that decision for a moment. I got to call Coach T and Randy Fichtner in the office. Can y'all believe it? Mike Tomlin, I'm calling Coach T. I got to ask you, come on in here, man. I have to. Bring Randy Fichtner with you. First of all, Coach Tomlin, let me just say, man, that you've done a tremendous job here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I, for one, appreciate that. I, for one, am a fan of yours. Do I agree with everything you do? I don't. But, that's why you're coaching and I'm not. I'm sure you wouldn't agree with everything I would do if I was coaching. Are there some areas of concern I've had with you over the years? Sure. Clock management is my main thing. Situational football has kind of been the same way. Funny how we're kind of talking about situational football here for a second. But I have to ask Tomlin, I have to ask, why did we go for it there? Try to give you a little small benefit of the doubt. I'm thinking that you're probably looking at a situation like, well, maybe in this case, you felt like we were driving the ball and, you want to build a lead and force these guys to get out of character, try to get some points early. I get it. But here's the problem, which lends me to turn and look here at Randy Fichtner. Here's the problem I have with that. I don't like that play call. Now, let me pause and say this. Randy, maybe I have to give you some credit. And shout outs to Kenyon. Kenyon kind of walked me off the ledge, him and Tony. And I was like, yeah, you got a point there. But in theory, I did not like empty set at that down and distance. And the empty set includes Benny Snell and Derek Watt running routes. In theory, I don't like that. Just in theory. However, after consulting with Kenyon and Tony, it made me think about it from a different perspective. Number one, Watt was wide open. If Ben looks to the left, it's a touchdown. Now, maybe Ben doesn't look that way because he knows it's Watt. Your fullback is probably not the first read, and I get that. Hence the reason why I don't like that particular formation. Now, here's the reason why we probably did that. You put out a formation like that, right? You put out that personnel, not formation. Let's think personnel. You put that personnel out there and you make the Ravens go big. And then the idea of going empty is you're hoping you're going to get some favorable matchups. I get it. However, it makes me think that Ben did not include one Derek Watt as a favorable matchup because he never looked to the left, never looked over there. The boy is wide open. So Kenyon and Tony reminded me that I can't really be so, I can't really be so mad at the play call because it could have worked. But I'm just saying, Mr. Fichtner, Coach Tomlin, in theory, I don't like those guys being included in an empty set formation. Just my opinion. And last thing I would say, Coach T, for the same reason why you probably decided to go for it is the same reason why I would have kicked the field goal. Any points is going to help. What you need to do against this Ravens team is get points when you can get points. And clearly it's short yardage running the ball just ain't there. Clearly. So, Mr. Fichtner, I probably will be calling you back here in a moment. Clearly short yardage running, but that's all. That's all I got for you, Coach Tomlin, man. Great job. You're 11-0. What can I really complain about? I just didn't like that decision right there. Now, we all sometimes are results biased. If it works, we all excited. But I just didn't I felt like you can't play around with this team that's desperate. You have to get points every time out when you can and build that lead so you can force them out of the plan that they had for themselves offensively. Just my thoughts. I thought it was too early to go for it there, but that's just me. Now, let's listen to these series events here. After that, right? Joe Hayden gets a pick six on 3rd and 4, and we score anyway. So maybe that was the idea. Maybe you felt like, well, if we don't get it, we got them backed up. They're not going to move the football. And hey, maybe. I will never know. I'm not the coach. I will never know. But it actually worked out for us. Backed them up, and Joe Hayden picks it off, and there you go. Pick six. Next person I need to call into the office. Chris Boswell, come on in here. I ain't got much to say to you, boss, other than the fact that you know how Jordan Berry was finding himself replaced by another punter, even though it didn't work out. But the thought had crossed the Steelers' mind. I think that's about to happen to you, buddy. What's going on with these extra points? You missing more extra points than you're missing field goals. What are you doing? If I recall, and I don't know the number, but I could be wrong. The chat will correct me. In the last 3 to 4 weeks, you've missed like 2, 3 of these. What the extra points? Chip shots, as they call them. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's all I got to say is, what are you doing? You have one job. And that is to put the football through the uprights. Let's keep it moving, guys. Let's see. What else I got here? Cam gets huge, tremendous push on RG3. And it pushed him down. Like, that was an amazing sack, man. The very next series, if I remember correctly, when he just pushed RG3 down. Listen, man, I'm here to tell you guys, and y'all don't have to hear this from me. Cam Hayward is a stud week in and week out. It's the plays like that. And he makes these little plays, like, even though that was a sack, he makes these type of plays consistently, week after week, where he's pushing somebody into the backfield, or he's beating somebody off the line badly. So does Stephon Tuitt, by the way. Stephon Tuitt, let me just say that as an aside. Tuitt has been blowing dudes off the line, and his swim move, oh my God, his rip and swim move this year, Tuitt is dominating out there, even though, like I said, you might not see it in sack numbers, but you ain't really looking for sacks with your D tackles. Dumb boys is balling. Ray McLeod, come on in, sir. Man, I'm really getting ticked off because I'm calling a lot of people in this office today. What, Ray? What? What was that? What was that? First of all, you should have fair caught that. And listen, it happens. But when it happens, we got to get on you. What? Come on, man. Come on. Don't start doing that because, honestly, Tomlin usually takes people off of that duty when they fumble. I don't want that with you. You know why? Because you are a tremendous punt returner. I don't want you to not play, buddy. So this office visit is a little more friendly than you would expect. Get it together because I know that your touchdown is coming. I don't want you to be on the bench because of the ball security. Because you and your buddy, who can also return kicks, kind of have ball security issues. Yours not so much. This is the first time that I can recall that. But, I don't want you to not return these punts because you've done a tremendous job. But that time, come on, buddy. First of all, fair catch it in that situation. And if you're not going to fair catch it, you've got to secure the rock. Because you know what you did? You allowed the Ravens to get back in position. They score a touchdown. And at this point, the Steelers are playing from behind. 7-6. Because, Boswell didn't make the extra point. So we were trailing at that point. Could have been huge. Get it together, man. Let's see what else we got. Eric Ebron. Ebron made a very good comeback catch, man, in the second quarter. And then another catch right after that over top of Jimmy Smith. So Ebron did did his job for the most part. I'm going to give him a brief visit. Come on, Ebron, really, really quick. Let me just say this to you. Catch the football. That's all I got to say. You have catches like those, and then you have other catches where the ball hits you right in the hands where there's no combat. There's no defensive player on your back, and you drop it. And some of these cause us to not move the chains. Catch the football. You got one job as well, because blocking is definitely not in your repertoire. Catch the football. Great job on those other 2 catches, though. I will give you that. Let's see. 2 consecutive drops by Claypool and Johnson. Might as well call him in now. Come on in here, Deontay. Come on in here. You, my friend. You're such a tremendous player. But the ball security is a problem with you, man. And I'm going to say security even with drops, because that means you didn't secure the catch. So this goes beyond just fumbles, because you had some fumble-itis last year. And you still make us a little nervous when you make your moves and such, because you're one of those guys that for whatever reason the ball is easily punched out. But let's talk about you securing the catch. On this drive that I'm talking about here, Claypool dropped one before that. And Claypool's not as bad as yours. I think I have that notated here. Yeah, Humphrey actually made a good play. He made a good play. Again, he swatted it down. It was kind of tough. Claypool maybe comes up with that, maybe not. But yours was wide open. I mean, it hit you right in the hands. And you dropped it. And you had plenty of drops. Plenty. And let me scroll down to the bottom of my notes. The worst drop that you had, buddy, late in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 5. Ben Roethlisberger basically called a timeout, walked down to you and handed you the ball, and you dropped it. How? You got to step on a defender. The other defender is closing in, but he's nowhere near you. Ball hits you right in your hands. What's going on? Come on, DJ. Because let me tell you something. We love your game. You the best quick route runner that we have. You are a vital piece. But not if you can't catch the football. You had a horrible game today. You made a couple plays here and there, but you had a horrible. Let's break that down. Horrible. That's how horrible your game was. Get it together. Come on, man. We can't be sloppy in game 11. What y'all doing? All right, what else we got, man? Let's keep it moving, guys. What else did I notate? Ben converts a 3rd and 10 to Claypool mid-second quarter. That was huge. Because at that point, I'm getting a little concerned, man, because our offense was stalling. I was getting a little concerned there. And we definitely, converted there 3rd and 10. Washington was unable to catch the back shoulder throw. Remember that one? And again, I think it was Humphrey or Peters, one of those two, in pretty good position. They caused Washington to have to turn this way to try to catch it. Catchable, but tough. Tough catch. But kind of probably got to go ahead and, classify that as a drop. And then also on that same drive, man, again, the Steelers have to settle for a field goal. It puts us ahead. But again, we got to settle for another field goal. So let's talk about that really quick. Red zone efficiency was... That's all I got to say. What was we, 1 for 2 or 1 for 3 or something like that? Trash. What was going on in the red zone, man? I'm concerned. I'm going to tell y'all, hold on. Let me get through this. Let me be fast, and then I can give you my summary. I'm concerned about our team, man. I really am. Let's see what else happened. Settle for a field goal. Steelers come right back, give up a big 40-yard run to RG3. Not the rookie RG3, a 30-year-old RG3. Late in the second quarter, Steelers called for 12 men on the field. Same drive. But here's where it gets funny. And I put in bold letters, horrible clock management by the Ravens. Let me tell you the sequence of events. Ravens get all the way down to about, I don't remember exactly where they got to, but they got to about our 1 or 2 yard line, something like that. Something like that, right? Excuse me. They run the ball, and Gus Edwards gets stopped. Great penetration by Wormley. Wormley was all over that play, right? We stop him. But they called their timeout at 26 seconds. So after they run the football, after this timeout, shout outs to Vince Williams, cheating a little bit. Listen, if you want to call that cheating, I'll accept that. Let me get a sip of water. Vince Williams plays possum and just lays at the bottom of the pile. Clock goes tick, 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 tick. The Ravens did a horrible job with clock management there, right? Then, instead of spiking it and kicking a field goal, they try to catch us slipping. Minkah Fitzpatrick, finally Minkah is reacting and not just waiting to see where the ball is being thrown. And y'all know I always say that about Minkah down in that area. I love Minkah. But we all have said that Minkah sometimes is reading action more than he's diagnosing situation. He's more so reading quarterback. Can't always do that. Sometimes you have to diagnose. This time he was quick with it, recognized what was happening, got there, broke the ball up. Time goes, time expires, half is over. Steelers got a little lucky there. But great headsy play by Minkah, as well as great play by Chris Wormley. I think his name is Chris. Great play by him, to stuff that run, because that could have been ugly if the Ravens score there. Never know what type of ball game we have. So great heads up play by Minkah. Poor clock management by the Ravens. All right, guys, second half. Steelers unable to convert. 4th and 1 on first drive. Once again, there we go. Why am I getting mad at this? Because guess what? Have y'all noticed the Steelers don't run the football in these situations? And I agree with what Kenya was saying during the game. The short passing game, it's been efficient. For the most part, it's been efficient. And it kind of doubles as your run game. But I don't like the fact that we can't run the football, folks. Benny Snell had a couple moments. But I don't like the fact that it seems like offensively we're not comfortable with just lining up and running in short yardage situations. That's not good. You can't do this in December, in January. Can't be doing that in the playoffs. And the fact that we're still questioning that this late in the season, I don't feel comfortable about this team. I'm being real with y'all, man. I don't. Cam Hayward gets called for roughing. Horrible call, in my opinion. They have to do better with that, driving a quarterback to the ground. I mean, listen, to me, it's an easy fix, right? It's an easy cut and dry. If it's bang, bang, he's in motion and he happens to fall on the quarterback, no penalty. If you can tell there was a moment where he still went through and physically drove him to the ground, penalty, if that's what you want to call it. But in that situation, it was bang, bang. I think it was him and Williams or him and Bud, somebody like that. Come on, man. Now, how is that a roughing? Ridiculous call. Ridiculous call. But TJ Watt makes a splash play, man, on 3rd and 10 against the run to force a 4th and 12. That was an outstanding play on that series by TJ. He basically tackled the runner and left no opportunity for RG3 to fake hand it off or hand it, whatever. He just tackled the runner, and that's how you got to play it, man. Even Chris Collinsworth said it in the broadcast. You have to attack that. Remember, guys, when we played the Washington football team, remember when we played them in RG3's rookie year? They were terrorizing the league. Y'all remember how we played them defensively? How we held them to like about 100 yards rushing? Every play, we had a man that was designated to hit RG3 and another man that was hitting Alfred Morris. Every single time we anticipated run. And we kind of did that the last time we played the Ravens in Baltimore. We kind of played it like that, where one guy would just hit Lamar regardless of what happens. Kind of got to play it like that. I think we were, I don't know, we kind of fell asleep a little bit today against RG3. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Let's keep it moving, guys. I want to get to the phone calls. We're able to force the 4th and 12. The Ravens are able to pin Steelers deep with a punt by Sam Cook. Outstanding punt. This dude has been consistent forever. Right after that, nothing really happened offensively, so we go back to defense. I said TJ Watt gets a huge sack to force a 3rd and 21 later in that quarter. It was a great blitz that included Terrell Edmonds. You guys remember that one where Edmonds went inside and TJ basically had a free shot? I thought that was a great call by Keith Butler. Great design. It worked. We got him off the field with a 3 and out. Benny Snell, later on in the fourth quarter, picks up a huge 3rd and 3 to start off the fourth quarter, rather. Ben then finds Juju Smith-Schuster finally for the Steelers to get an offensive touchdown. And Juju delivers a beautiful stiff arm on that drive. Listen, man, let me say this real quick before I forget. I keep saying it every week, and I'm going to continue to say it. We must find a way to retain Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm sorry. If you don't feel that way, then we just disagree. This guy is vital to this team. He is a stud in terms of doing the dirty work, and he is still capable of doing what we've seen him do offensively in prior years. Okay, so what? He needed an Antonio Brown on the other side to free him up. Okay, that's fine. So he's not a number one like AB was. He's not a Julio Jones. So what? But what he is a capable, at least a very capable number 2, but he does the grind work. Y'all see what Juju has become this season? We all have said it. He's a mini Hines Ward. Physical. He blocks. He's unselfish. He can still catch. And if you get him in the right situation, he'll still catch it and house it. He makes the tough catches. He makes the possession catches. He makes the tough yak after catch. And the boy is 24 years old. He is our most veteran receiver at 24. We have to keep this young core of receivers together. I love these 4 guys that we got. The potential that we have right here is off the charts. We got to find a way to keep them, man. If you asking me, who do you keep, him or Connor? No disrespect to Connor. I got to keep my man Juju. I love everything about Juju, man. And people always trying to pick at him for having a life outside of football. And, oh, he's such a kid and he plays video games. So what? The boy come to play every week. And the dude has even built a life outside of football where he has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, setting himself up. You know, he got money outside of this, which is another reason why I think Juju is probably going to have more of a, friendly contract negotiation. I think he wants to stay in Pittsburgh. I don't think he's going to demand top dollar. Let me interrupt myself, man. I got to say what's up to iSloth. Shout outs for that donation. Don't see a comment with it, but again, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for the donation. Oh, there's a comment. My bad. He says, so how do you feel about Highsmith taking starting role because Bud is out for the season with the torn ACL? I'm cool with it. I am cool with it, man. I think Highsmith, and I kind of said that a little earlier in the show, so I don't want to repeat it so much, but I think Highsmith is the more pure pass rusher. He does more of what Bud Dupree was doing in both rush and pass. I think that's going to be your guy, Ola being your rotational piece. Yeah, but that's it. That's what I got on Juju, man. I'm telling y'all gonna get up off my man Juju. Juju is a dog. He's a dog. And anytime you a dog, you could be on my squad. I don't care if you a superstar. I like dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like Cam Hayward. Some people don't call him a superstar because the numbers ain't there. Cam is a dog. Boy, we gonna miss Cam Hayward the day that he hangs it up. Cam a dog. You know who else used to be a dog like that, but the numbers won't high? Big Brett Kiesel. Dog. You know what I mean? Love those type of players. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me on my rant, man, because y'all get under my skin sometimes how y'all go at Juju. And I'm like, how could you not want this kid? Anyway, man, let's finish this up, man, so I can leave some room for calls. What I got? A couple more things that I notated here. Steelers defense basically closed the door after the Juju touchdown. Made the Ravens pretty one-dimensional outside of that touchdown late in the game that made it way more interesting than it needed to be. It looks like Joe Hayden was gambling a little bit. Terrell Edmonds, missed the tackle. Hollywood Brown put a little shake on him. And there it is. It made the game way closer than it needed to be. But again, the game was sloppy. This was an ugly game for the most part. But the defense did enough. Defense did enough, as they should have, against the opponent that they played at quarterback. No disrespect, but come on. There's no Lamar Jackson. But for the most part, after the Juju touchdown, the defense was pretty much getting the job done, getting them out of there. And that pretty much ended the game, man. But then I cannot go without speaking of this. I already spoke on the Deontay drop, late in the fourth quarter, because I have that here notated. But I cannot stop and not talk about two plays. Benny Snell on that last drive, picking up the first down. Benny Snell running over Marcus Peters. I love Benny Snell as well, guys. Benny Snell, I've been saying this for a minute. Benny Snell is a dog. You can see it. But James Washington. Bailing Big Ben out. And great throw by Ben, because there was traffic there, but Ben put it in a spot where pretty much only JW coming down with that thing. He is your security blanket when it comes to combat catches. I love it. I love it, man, because James Washington hasn't been featured as much because of the emergence of Claypool, because of the, what Deontay Johnson can do, and of course what Juju was able to do across the board. James Washington kind of been the lone man out as far as, reps. So I love that he came in there, and he, honestly, that was the play of the game to me. Play of the game. Easy play of the game. Love it, man. Listen, I'm telling you, we got a core group of four that's stories is yet to be told, man, but stay tuned. These guys are talented. Quick takeaways. Steelers struggles in the red zone. That I ain't even got to say much about that. Got to do better. Come on, man. The Ravens are a great defense. Let's not get it twisted. They have good talent there, but they were missing pieces, and we still struggle. Come on, we got to do better than that. Boswell having his woes. We talked about that. Steelers turned the ball over twice in the first quarter. Did not like that. Steelers featured Ebron a lot early. He had 5 catches early in the first quarter. So again, if Ebron is a guy that can come to life, he's just another complement to those 4 receivers, man, that, again, we could be a very killer-esque type of offense if we could just get it going. We talk about Kansas City and how I say I feel like still Kansas City is the dog. That's who you're chasing right now. I don't think it's us, even though we're undefeated. We just don't show a level of consistency on offense that Kansas City does. And I know we could say this all day, yeah, but their defense isn't. I get it. But if our offense is unable to convert and we're unable to be consistent and get into our rhythm and produce the type of points that we are capable of producing with the talent, what difference does it make? Kansas City has shown to be able to do that. Even when the Raiders beat them, it still was a high-scoring game. I don't think right now that we go point for point with them. I'm just saying. There's too many inconsistencies that I'm seeing out of our team, man. It concerns me. I'm being real. What else did I take away from this game? Benny Snell was being used in the past game. I like that. Glock Lesnar said Ebron sucks. I don't know I don't understand sometimes what you guys are looking for. Do I think Ebron is great? No, but I don't think I could agree with saying that he sucked this year. Ebron has made some very good, tough catches for us this year and moved the chains. He hasn't been awesome, but I don't think I could walk away from this season and say he sucks. Only thing I don't like, his blocking skills ain't really there, but I don't know if I can say that. But like I said, you guys as fans, you're tough. You guys be ready to chop somebody's head off if they have one bad play. You know what I mean? But yeah, I can't go that far to say he sucks, man. That dude has made some tough catches, man. Very tough catches this year. Let's see. Last thing I will say, and my bad, guys, I'm taking up a lot of time, man. I have a love-hate relationship with the empty set. I do. Let me explain to you guys why. Where I do love it, Ben gets in a little bit of a rhythm. Short passing game is effective. Ben is getting the ball out of his hands faster than any other quarterback in the league. That's crazy. Just thinking back to what Ben Roethlisberger used to be, let's say 5 years or so ago. It's crazy to say that he's doing that. And it's been happening for a few years now, So I like that. But here's where I have a love-hate. Here's the hate part. most of the time when you go empty set, right, a lot of times defenses will convert whatever coverage they were attempting to run, they'll convert it to man because of that alignment. You kind of want to match man for man. You can still run zone against it, but sometimes aggressive teams, especially teams like the Ravens, they're going to go man against that. And I think when you're in the empty set and there's no additional blocker, there's no running back there, there's no threat of the running back leaking out, or there's no threat of anyone being a dump off pass or a hot read, etc. Well, you can still have a hot read, of course, if they blitz. But because there's no threat of anybody coming out of the backfield and or being an extra blocker, it makes the routes very vanilla, right? So if you're a good defense and you kind of know what the Steelers are going to do and you kind of know that the ball has to come out quick, it's easier to take chances. And you see the Ravens have pretty good success defending it. They did it quite a few times today. That's what my love-hate is, man, because we go to it a lot of times in short yardage situations. 3rd and 2. 3rd and 1. 4th and 1. And I'm like, man, this can't be. Excuse me. Again, I don't want to be results biased because when it works, it works. And that's never going to be my motivation of saying I'll hate something or like something. I'm always going to look at it from the standpoint of, analytics or efficiency. I just feel like you're tipping your hand a little bit when you go empty set. You spread everybody out. Now, if you got the guys that's going to always win their matchup, great. But we don't always win our matchup. And like I said, you allow guys like a Peters or a Humphrey to get into their zone now, right? And when I say get into their zone, they can get into their bag. And what they do, play aggressive and jump routes because they know in this situation that ball coming out. So it's easier to defend it if somebody isn't wide open. So just my thoughts on that, man. Just my thoughts on that. And again, let me check the stats. I know at one time, let me look right now so I can be all the way accurate. At one time near the end of the game, I already saw that Ben had thrown the ball 51 times, and I think we threw the ball a little more after that. Let's be accurate here. Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, well, I was right. 36 of 51 for 266 yards. 1 touchdown and an interception. Bad pick by Ben, by the way. Ben, I should come on in here real quick, Ben. Throw that ball away, man. Because when they show the end zone view, and we're gonna see it when 22 comes out, bruh. There's no way. I think he was trying to hit Snell. Ain't no way you was getting that ball to Snell. You threw it right to Bowser. Throw it away. I mean, I get it as 4th down, but you could have caused more detriment by throwing a pick. Could turn into a pick 6. Just acknowledge that it ain't there. Throw it away. Because either way what's going to happen is we got lucky. They didn't return it that far. But in that scenario, if you throw it away, you got them pinned on like the 1 or 2 yard line. Don't throw a pick in that situation. But anyway, listen to this, guys. 51 pass attempts for only 266 yards. Man, I keep telling y'all I don't want Ben. I don't want Ben throwing the ball more than 40 times a game, man. No. This is going to come back to bite us. We'll see when we play Buffalo. We'll see. But all right, man, let me get to the phone calls if there are any. There's a bunch of them. So guys, y'all know y'all gotta be quick for me. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 calls. Let's try to get these knocked out within a 10-minute time frame or so. I know we can do it. I'll be very, very, very brief with my responses, or I may just hold them and reply afterward so we can get everyone in. Now, before I even take the calls, for you guys that are in the queue, I know 803 is in the queue. If you guys can confirm to me that you are able to hear me in the phone queue, that's very important. Confirm that you're able to hear me in the queue. At least that way we know, which way we got to handle Blog Talk. Give me a second as I unwrap this cord here. So if somebody can confirm that really quick. Confirm that really quick, and at least we know how we have to approach it. You can hear me. Great. All right, let's get it moving. Let's be fast, guys. Y'all know how to do it. Let's do it. First up, area 651.
What's up, Sam?
What's going on, man?
Chill. Okay, it's working tonight. So I want to say that the first thing Tom should say is bring Deontay Johnson in, Ebon in, and say you cost us Dupree, because had you held on to those touchdowns, it was a blowout early. We could have got some people out of the game. So that's on y'all head. So you need to step up for the rest of the season to replace that production. So that's my first thing. But my only other thing is, the one thing I hadn't heard anybody look at is the fact that we beat people in different ways.
Yeah.
We're not like New England where they went undefeated the same way. We beat you how we have to beat you. It's like the Lakers were this past year. They give you the first game in the playoffs to figure you out, and then they beat you. Same way we've been doing this year, which to me is more impressive because we're being whoever we need to be when we need to be it. So that's one big thing for me. All right, thanks.
Hey, man, you know what? 651, that's an excellent point. And I'm going to take my time here and give you props on that. You're right. You know what? You are absolutely right. That's a great way of viewing it. Maybe, even we've gotten spoiled a little bit, right? Thinking that it's supposed to be this and we're supposed to be efficient all the time. But look, man, maybe this is the team that we have turned into be. We're going to beat you however we need to beat you. Some games are going to be close. Some of us going to catch, many heart attacks, but a win is a win. So you know what? Got to salute you on that. That's a great way of looking at it. Next up, area code 678. What you got for us?
Hey, thank you for taking my call, Sam.
Oh yeah.
Condolences to you and your family. Sorry about your mother's passing.
Yeah, thank you, man.
With that being said, you're quite welcome, young man. Also, I hear you talking about the Chiefs. I know the one guy on the blog was talking trash as well, but they have just as unimpressive victories as we've had this season as well. It was good that you called the team in the locker room, but defense is going to win championships always in Pittsburgh. Since I've been a child, that's always been what's won the championships in Pittsburgh. The Steelers defense is better than the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Now, Patrick Mahomes, he's a dangerous boy, no doubt. He's dangerous. He is very dangerous. But when we played them that one time, Perry's the one that cost us that victory against them last time. Now, I don't want to be long because I know I've listened to a couple of my calls before and I've been long-winded, but the Chiefs don't scare me. I think the Tennessee Titans might beat the Chiefs if they was to play them in the playoffs. Thanks for taking my call, man. Have a great night. Hey, man, great point.
It might end up like that. Let's be honest. It might end up that somebody get the Chiefs out of there. And you guys are right. And I appreciate you guys keep pulling my coattail on that. Like, hey, man, stop being so negative towards us against the Chiefs. The only thing is I just look at everything in matchups. I just feel like the Chiefs could be a bad matchup for us because I don't know if I ain't confident in thinking that we could outscore them. But like you guys have said, their defense is a little shaky. Can our offense produce more points than a Raider offense that put up big time points on them? Yeah. If we're consistent. Nobody scares me if we can be efficient. I think we're that good I think we're capable of being that good on offense. I just don't know if we show up every week. That's all. But excellent call, man. Let's move on. Area code 803. What you got for us?
Hey, brother. Well, good win tonight. Everybody must think about it. We did sweep the Ravens this year. We exacted our revenge on these guys. I like the way we came out. We showed RG3 he was not going to celebrate him this year. I was very mad about that year. And our guys responded. Even though he got off one goal in front. Only thing really frustrates me, the offensive line did great blocking or its pass blocking. Their run blocking, it It looked like they're running a zone scheme. I would like to see our guys get down low. I would like to see us run a little unbalanced line. Maybe kick out Filer or fill in the way with the tight end, bring in Dodson, and bring in the fullback. I have no idea why Mike Tomlin does not like fullback. Frustrates me. Yeah. 4th and 1, 4th and 2. We should be putting our hats on other people's hats and blowing them out the way. A great win on the next week to play Washington. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Absolutely, man. And I, like I said, I'll keep it brief so we can get all the calls in. I'll reply to that last point. I don't understand what the deal is with not featuring the fullback. This started before we got Watt. Remember when we stopped going away from Rosie? Even though Rosie had a couple injury issues, but even when he came back. And we signed Derek Watt. I mean, so you telling me we signed him just to be a special teamer? We haven't featured him much at fullback. Sometimes you got to go back to basics. Case in point, sometimes we see Lamar Jackson and the Ravens run straight up option, speed option. That's option 101 from college. Sometimes you go back to the basics. All right, we're going to run the option. I'm going to read the end. If he crashes, pitch. If he comes to you, I'm going to turn it up. And it's successful. Why don't we go back to basics and put a fullback in front of the running back right up the yin-yang? Man to man. Mano y mano. Let's go get that yard or two. I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. Area code 843. What you got for us?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, first of all, my condolences, man. That's really a tough loss. And, my prayers go out to you and your family.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I'm actually appreciative that you actually still are able to get on here and do this for us. You do this for the fans. And I definitely appreciate that, man. As far as the game goes, I'm really disappointed.
Yeah.
It's almost like our offense did absolutely nothing to win that game. It's almost like our offense does what they can do to scrape by, but is that going to be good enough for the playoffs? I don't feel like it does. So coming from me, looking at that offense, and looking at Kansas City explosive offense, I understand why you have your reservations, because I do too.
Yeah.
I really don't think that our offense is explosive enough. Like, we couldn't catch a cold today. We won in spite of the offense. And that's how I feel, man. Like, we won in spite of the offense. But thank you for taking my call, man. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate what you're doing. And going through the game, man.
Man, thank you very much for the call, man. And again, guys, I thank you guys, for all the condolences and continued prayers. Man, for you guys that don't know, unfortunately, my mom, succumbed to COVID. She passed away on the 17th, 2 weeks ago, and it's been rough, as you can imagine. But, as much as you guys appreciate me still being able to be strong enough to do this, y'all allow me to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's therapeutic. It allows you to take your mind off of things. And, again, I treat you guys like family. So you guys are the reason why I'm able to sit here, keep a straight face, and continue doing what we do. So thank you as well. As much as you guys thank me, I thank you guys right back. And, yeah, I echo everything you said, 843. I'm telling you guys, if I had to choose today, if we were playing the Chiefs on Sunday to advance in the playoffs, I might say I don't think we win. The offense scares me only because of our lack of consistency. We got the talent, bro. We 4 deep at receiver. Ebron making plays. Running backs doing decent, even though our run game is just a little shaky. It ain't what it was to begin the season. So these are the reasons why I have reservations, man. I love our defense, but let's not. Oh, I forgot to say that. And before I grab these last 3 calls, we'll end with 240. So anybody listening, 240 will be the last call. I believe that's my brother Tony. So we got 3 more calls to get through, and I'll stay here a little bit longer. But guys, we got to be honest with ourselves. Our defense is still giving up chunk run plays. That's a problem. That is a problem. Are we going to be able to do the same thing to Cleveland that we did the first time? With that dual-headed monster they got? And these other teams who can run the football, including the Chiefs now? I'm just saying, man, I don't have good feelings about the level of consistency of how we're playing. Of course, I'm still rooting for us, of course. And maybe we get it together. But, you got to be real and acknowledge the lack of things that we're doing, because that's what's going to hurt us. 252, what you got for us?
What's up, Sim?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, I got one thing, man. Why does it always seem like we only come to play when we got a fire lit up under us? But when we don't, we come and we play lousy like we did today on offense. Like, it seemed like nobody was like their head was in the game when it mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's dropping passes. It wasn't just one specific player dropping passes. Everybody dropped the pass, and especially when it mattered. You know what I'm saying? I understand you drop the pass, but if you dropping the pass on 4th and 2, like, come on, man, your head got to be in the game. But that's all I got, son, man. All right.
Man, very true. It's frustrating as fans, man, and I feel like we're going to keep seeing this. I hope not. And also, we have to acknowledge, when I talked about the run game, I'm not discrediting the fact that Devin Bush has been missing. We all know that. Now, Bud is going to be a bigger loss than a lot of people might think, man. And, Tua didn't play today. So, I'm sure that contributed to it, because we've seen Tua's tackle for losses this year. But even when those guys were on the field, minus Devin Bush, we're giving up too many runs for 10 to 15 plus yards. Giving up that run to RG3. I mean, I get it. I've always said the Ravens is a different monster, the way they run the football. But still, that ain't feel good. Next up, 505. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sim? Am I good? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right. Okay. So right now, I just have one thing. Okay. Why in bloody hell are we running empty at the 2-yard line? At the 2 of the 1 yard line? That makes no sense to me. You know what? Mark my words here. Okay. We're gonna get pick 6 doing that eventually. That might not happen next week or the week after, but we're going to get pick 6 in a big game doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Every time on 4th down and 1, 3rd down and 1, we have to find other ways to convert the short yardage, because the Ravens caught on to it. The whole league is going to catch on to that. We just put up film for the whole league to watch. And that Bills game scares me. We're not going to win that game, in my opinion. I don't think that we're going to win that game the way that we're playing.
Yeah. And it's in Buffalo, I think.
That's a great team right there. Yeah, and it's in Buffalo. I just don't like the play calling, man. Like the defense is great. If we're going to get a championship, it'll be through the defense. But the offense scares me right now, especially the play calling. We're so much better than this, but that's all I got, Tim. Thank you.
Man, thank you as well, and you're right on time with it. We saw the potential of it today when Bowser picked us. Imagine if that's Peters or Jimmy Smith or Chuck Clark or what's the other kid, Humphrey. You see what I'm saying? And like I said before, man, for guys who didn't hear it, it's a love-hate that I have with the empty. But when you go empty and you're in, especially in short yardage situations, your routes are very basic. There's no extra blocker. So they know the ball got to come out, and the Ravens have adjusted very well to that. They play aggressive. It allows you to be more aggressive. It allows you to jump more routes and things of that nature. My man 505 is absolutely correct. One of these times, it's going to cost us. It almost costed us today. Don't like it. Last call of the night, guys. We're going to end with 240. We're already 5 minutes past my time. My wife and kid waiting for me to come help with the Christmas tree, so I can't stay long. But this is my brother Tony, man. So let's get Tony on. You guys haven't heard from Tony in a while. Tony, how's it going, brother?
Hey, brother, listen. Hey, man, I'm doing well, man.
Good.
I ain't gonna hold you up because I know how it is putting the tree up and everything, man.
Yeah.
Man, you know, if it wasn't all of that was going on with COVID and everything, you know where I would have been at tonight.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, I would have been right beside you. I've been right beside you tonight. But just keep it real quick. I'm gonna just say it from these points. You know how I always have the points. First of all, a win is a win.
That's
I don't
right.
care how ugly, how pretty, a win is a win, and we're 11-0 tonight. Another thing is, like you said, the whole defense was depleted, but we're still playing the Ravens. And the Ravens, you know, when you look at it, they got some nice corners back there that can go one-on-one with some of our wide receivers.
Yeah, they
We
do.
just didn't, we just didn't execute like we should have. You know, like I said, it's a divisional game. And think about the points tonight. One on a special team fumble and Joe Hayes gamble.
Yeah.
It could have been easy, a shutout. It could have been easy, an easy shutout. You know, but hey, they got 14 points, you know. And I want to say Benny Snell should get the Vance McDonald Stiff Arm Award tonight.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The Vance McDonald Stiff Arm. And, you know, another thing drops as part of why the game was close. I mean, you know, people were saying, you know, Ben had 51 attempts, or how many attempts he had. But, you know, look at the yardage he got. I mean, it was a lot of drops. I mean, we could have been going down the field if it was a lot, you know, if it wasn't for those drops. It could have been a lot of first down, play cool drops, some key ones.
Man.
Deontay Johnson. And what's up with Deontay Johnson? James Washington would have caught that pass, man. And you said it on the chat.
Yep.
You said he would have caught that pass. Yep. And then, you know, I don't know, you know, I didn't put this on the chat. I don't know if you and Kenyon caught it, but the old line at times were blocking for Ben.
Yeah.
There was times that they was really blocking for him. You know, and I want to say these last two, we better stop the run because I went through looking at the schedule. This year, a lot of people got a lot of good runs against us. But, you know, like you said, the Baltimore Ravens have a different style of run, so that's why they're able to do it. And if it wasn't for RT3 big run, I mean, it probably would have been, just looking at the stats, would have been under 100 yards if it wasn't for RT3. And everybody better get used to Ty Smith being T.J. Watt's new partner on the other side.
Yeah.
And man, I feel bad for my boy Bud Dupree. I'm gonna call him Bud Dupree. I don't care what Kenya says. His name is Bud Dupree because he's been balling for the last 2 years. And I know it's about time, but he's been balling enough for us to call him Bud Dupree. And it was times when he was Stud Dupree out there. But it was times when he was Stud Dupree. But, hey, brother, listen, I appreciate you letting me come on and talk. We're going to have to get that steel table going. And, hey, man, you know we'll be talking.
I think we might should do that, man, this week. And definitely, Tony, appreciate you calling. You already know, man. We always talk offline anyway. I think we should get that going, man. Maybe we'll do the steel table, like, pregame edition, you know, for the pregame show. Because I know we've been itching to do it. So I'll get with you and Kenyon offline, man, and find out, you know, when the best day might work for y'all since we ain't playing now until Monday. So we'll probably try to land something on Saturday or Sunday, and let's do it then, because I think it's time. It's a lot to talk about, you know, as far as, you know, preparing for the Washington. We can talk about that quick in that show, but then after that, yeah, let's shoot for that. So let me go ahead and get these headphones off, guys, and y'all fire away in the chat. I'll spend another 5 minutes in here. I want to comment on a couple things that I saw. One, I see a couple people saying, how do I feel about Minka's drop pick? I give him a pass, man. Minka has caught almost everything that's come his way. That one might have just been too easy for him. His eyes got big, and he dropped it. But yeah, come on, Minka, you got to catch that. But again, Minka is usually Johnny on the spot, so I can't be mad at him. It happens. There was something else I saw in the chat here, really quick. What was it? Oh, here we go. Some of you guys made a good point, man, about Avery Williamson. Now it's time for us to see. Maybe we get him on the field a little more, man. He played tonight, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch the game again, see how he fared. Excuse me, but yeah, I want to see how he's gonna be mixed in a little more down the stretch, because I think there are gonna be teams that are gonna feel like they can run the ball against us. We need to keep our eye on Robert Spillane as well. We need to look at him again and see how he's playing. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't paid much attention to Spillane as far as eyeballing what he's doing. So I need to see how he's playing and whether or not a guy like Williamson, eventually takes his reps. We'll see. But definitely, man, without having Dupree, it's going to hurt us, man. It's really going to hurt us. But, Highsmith, he's had his moment, so we'll see. Lanisha says she loves the steel table chats. Yeah, we need to make that happen. We definitely need to make that happen. All right, guys, throw a couple things out here that you want me to read. Real G Lee says, Sim, does Ben have too much control? Should Tomlin reel him in and Fichtner in some? 5 wide on that 1 yard line. Yeah, man, because again, that's why I don't want to get on Fichtner all the way, because we keep hearing, and we can see it obviously as the plays unfold and there's no huddle and all of that. Ben is calling a lot of those shots. So yeah, man, we need to reel that in a little bit. Sippy Boy says Spillane has had it rough against the Ravens. If any game, this was the one to play Williamson. Yeah, and we saw him on the field. But again, me trying to watch the game and still kind of working and stuff like that, I couldn't zone out the way I normally do. So I didn't pay attention as much to what I usually do in game day. I usually can identify the personnel and all that. I didn't really really notice when Avery Williamson was or wasn't out there. I just happened to see him. So yeah, I think this would have been a great game to have him out there more. And he was out there. I just don't know how much. Railfax says, I'm excited to have Highsmith, but I can't expect him to come out and produce like Bud. Yeah. Kenyon says Spillane played well today, and maybe he did. So again, I got to watch the film. Marlon Nicholson says, don't forget about Ola, an outside linebacker. He's shown flashes. He has. But I still, again, me personally, I still like Highsmith as the starter. I think Highsmith has more upside, and he's more of the natural pass rusher. Clay Wendell or Wendai says, it looks like Williamson is getting more and more time every single week. I think he will be the starter by playoff time. Very possible. Yeah, Vince is a monster. No question. Love Vince Williams. Let me scroll down a bit further. Donald Loudenback says, I think Tomlin picked up Williamson just for the last games. Colts, Bills, Browns can all run the football. Could be right there. They could be priming him, getting him ready, getting him acclimated. Somebody said we bet not cut Washington. Washington ain't going nowhere. This is Washington's 3rd season. We still got him under contract next year. Him and Rudolph came together. There would be literally no reason to cut Washington. I think this is one time that we could probably say next year, if they sign Juju, then the 4 receivers are set. It'll all come down to who's going to be behind those guys, which they might go back into the season the same way we have it this year. Ray being the number, the 5th, and him also being a returner. So I think we pretty set there. We just got to worry about keeping Juju. Builder's Life says our line sucks. We have to pass because running won't even get an inch. Our running backs have to dodge bullets in the backfield. We have boys on our line playing other teams' men. Woo! Strong words, but you know what? In a lot of situations, Builder's Life, I can't even disagree with you there, man. We've seen on film on the normal Turbo Towel Tuesdays where we've seen games where, James Conner was meeting linemen in the backfield with him. Mr. Ab says Spillane has been playing very well. Couldn't ask for a better replacement, to be honest, after losing a first round in Bush. And that's the thing. Like I said, I haven't really been zoning in on Spillane, but the fact that we're not hearing his name, he's probably playing decent. He probably is. You know, he's probably playing okay. Let's see. Couple more. I'll read these last three. Eric Rivera and Luis D. And I'll read somebody else. Jeff Smith. How about that? Eric Rivera says, I knew this was coming. This is about matchups. This was a completely different Baltimore team, and they know us. Now Baltimore is out of the winning the division, so their only hope is a wild card. Yep, we basically took care of that today for those of you guys that didn't know that mathematically. Luis D says, Keith Butler needs to stop using TJ and other linebackers covering wide receivers. Steelers were lucky RG3 overthrew Marquise Brown. Absolutely. Now, I know Chris Collinsworth was trying to give TJ credit, which, yeah, you know, for being out there and being athletic enough to do it, but bruh, if that ball on the money, that's a touchdown. Easy. And it seems like teams are able to get those matchups against us quite often. So I definitely agree with that and salute to that comment. All right, last one. Jeff Smith says, no Pouncey and Big Ben still got the ball out fast. Yeah. You know, Eisenhower, was that his name? JC did pretty well. You know, I don't recall. Again, once I watch the game again, which I'll probably do tonight, you know, watch the condensed version, I'll be able to see, you know, who, you know, shined, who didn't, you know, the sore spots that poked out and things like that. Need to check and see how my boy Dotson played. But, yeah, we'll see. But all right, man, that's it. 2 shows, 2 back-to-back shows. That was the beauty of having, I guess, this whole debacle this week. We got Terrible Tuesday yesterday. We came right back today with the post-game show. So it worked out for us. Pre-game show, let's shoot for Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to get with Kenyon and Tony and see if we can make that into a still table. For you guys that don't know what that is, just a cute way of saying round table, but it still is everything. So we're going to say a still table. And we just have a discussion. You know, we'll talk a little bit about what we need to watch out for from Washington and just the state of the Steelers. And we'll have a 3-way conversation there. So look out for that. And we'll end the chat with thanking Eric Rivera for his donation. Definitely appreciate you there, buddy. Appreciate all you guys that did that. And last thing I'm going to ask you guys to do, 3 steps right here. For some of you, subscribe, cut on your notifications, hit the thumbs up. That's all I need you guys to do. And as well as far as donations, I thank everyone who did that tonight. You guys know who you are that donate outside of YouTube. So if that is your preferable method, Cash App is optional, as well as PayPal is an option. That information is in the description. And there you have it. All right, guys, I got to go do some husband duties. Enjoyed having you guys tonight as well as last night, and we'll see you guys soon. And hey, we 11-0. 11-0. This is it. 11-0. That's crazy. Crazy. Never thunk it. And never thought. And here's the funny part. The worst we could do is 11-5. Don't that feel good? Hallelujah. But all right, guys. Catch y'all later. Y'all be good. Please stay safe. Please, please. I'm going to keep emphasizing that. Stay safe, guys, and be responsible. Enjoy yourself for the rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you back soon. And like always, thank you for tuning in.